what I look for. I look for guys like that dude right there. He came out of Manatee, right, and played with one of the best coaches in the state. And when we got him, I said, yo, because I watched him on film and I watched him at practice, and you knew that he was a dude. He could knock you off the ball. He knew how to finish blocks. He was well coached. They took great time and effort and preparation, everything they did, and that's what you're trying to get. But you also want athletic guys, because the best defenses. I don't know. To me, at Miami, Coach Snellberg used to tell us this. We got 4 teams, maybe 5, that we're just flat ass better than when we get on the field. And we're going to beat them because we're better than they are. Okay? And then we got nuts off and find an edge. I know they were the baddest dudes, Warren Sapp and Jerome Brown. Oh God, who's the guy that played for? They come down at practice. When we come down for one-on-ones or anything at practice, like, come on, you bitches, get down here, right? So you gotta equip your guys with technique, and you gotta go out and get. This is what I started insisting on. I wasn't really interested unless they were the biggest, strongest, fastest, best-looking dude in the world. I wasn't interested in guys that were going to be a problem in school. Being on time for meetings and being discipline problems. I wanted hard workers that were smart with each other. Go off on a tangent here, but I just want my opinion, I want my tackle. 3 could be tight end and tackle, right? I made all our calls as simple as they could be, and I wanted to carry over for running pass too. You know what I mean? I didn't want you just pointing at the Mike linebacker because you're passing and you're wondering if he's blitzing, right? I wanted to make my backside calls and my front side calls, put them in French if you have to, put them in Spanish. Just play with the game. Make sure it's simple. When we got to the running game, if it was 1-back runs or 2-back runs, and I got this from Alex Gibbs, he would tell who was with Denver, Shanahan, right? He would tell Mike Shanahan, listen to this. He told me, I listened to him at 15 lectures at the NCAA convention. I brought him to Miami. I brought him to Ole Miss when I was coaching up there. Okay, he's the best offensive line coach in the world, Alex Gibbs. Okay, you know what he would tell Shanahan? Whenever he goes, well, I want to run like a counter this week. He just looked at me and goes, what are you throwing out? Because we're running 6 1-back runs and we're running 6 2-back runs, and I ain't practicing none of the other shit. Okay? That's what he would tell Shanahan. Now, there ain't a lot of home line coaches that can get away with that shit. Talk to their head coach, but he got away with it because he's the best. And they were paying him $1 million like 15 years ago to coach the offensive line. Okay? So my theory on the deal is you want to be fancy? Use different personnel. Use 13 personnel. Everybody know what 13 is, right? 1 back, 3 tight ends. Use 13 personnel. And don't tell me you don't have enough tight ends. Bring a freaking backup linebacker over there and let him play tight end and have him run a flat route, throw the ball in the flat, just in case he's pissed off because he's not getting any passes, right? It ain't that hard. And you can do 4 wides, you can do 3 wides. Just keep messing around. You can get big with your personnel and throw the ball off play action. But don't jump. Keep it 1-back runs. We had 6 of those. And man, that may be too much. In 2-back runs, we had 6 of those. Maybe it's 5 and 5. Maybe it's 4 and 4. I don't care. I mean, you don't have enough time to get good against good defenses by running everything. We're just throwing tacks up on the board. Yeah, there's another run. Let's run that in there. Yeah, where are you going to practice that? What if they blitz? double take your job from you. They're gonna die, right? They're gonna die. It ain't gonna happen. And you wanna beat them up with their heads? Shit, the trainer's gonna fink you out and get your ass fired, right? If you're gonna beat them up, you're gonna bash them, you're gonna get one-on-ones and just keep bashing their heads in. You can't do it anymore. But you better teach technique, and you better teach communication of your drills, and you better teach philosophy, and you better always demand the same simple things, okay? When we're running the ball, I want my hands here. I want tight thumbs. I want tight elbows. You see your kids like this, get it corrected, okay? When people disagree with me on this, and because I'm not an expert, I've only learned from people. There's a lot of ways to skin cats. A lot of people in the NFL, it's all positioning block. They're trying to step sideways and cover you up and let them shoot and have their pads down in their eyes. Forward footwork, the length, all that kind of stuff. So you want smart guys. But think about it. You want them to play aggressive. So make them smart and get them smart, but bust your ass to keeping it simple. I've been doing this my whole life, so keep this shit simple, right? It's all about being simple. My line calls are simple, my communication is simple, I'm running off the ball, I'm finishing, and that's what you're talking about. That's what I talk about the whole day at practice. I don't talk about nothing else. Finish, backside. Now, this pulling drill, going in line with what we're talking about, you want to get reps on the fundamentals and techniques of the O pull. O stands for what? Offside guard or tackle, pulling for onside linebacker. Okay? You got to get a little depth, and you got to come square into the hole. And why? And for the practice, make sure everybody's taking notes. Make sure they know what section they're at on the practice field. If you got to draw it up there and put up a deal so they can see it, then do it. If you got to put it on the side, I have stuff all over my room. I want my players to know. I don't want them to say, well, I don't know why we do that drill. Shit, I'm going to explain it to you every damn day until you understand it. Then we're going to watch it. And I'm going to explain it again and again until you get it. That's why we do drills. I don't want to do drills just to do drills. Man, when you run just to run, get in condition, and I want to film him saying, it's his, I can't believe he did that. No, it's your fault. You're the guy that's at fault. It's your job to get, sometimes I'll just flip it, then I'll bring the third row. You know, I don't even know if some of you guys got the third row. Sometimes I didn't have the third row either. But it's a beautiful thing. You get those guys, and you always keep them involved. Always keep them involved and get them in the game every chance you get, man. Hell, they savor that one or two. That's how you figure out drills, right? Dante Scarnecchia, now get this, I'm going to tell you a little story here, okay? Dante Scarnecchia, does anybody know who he is? Who is he? Patriots O-line coach, yeah. And he's been retired, he's 72, and he's been retired for 2 years. And Belichick won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then they went this year, or no, they went to the championship game and lost on a 2-point conversion. And he fired his offensive line coach. Imagine that, you being an offensive line coach. You won the Super Bowl, 2-point conversion cost you going to the Super Bowl, and the next week you got fired. And then he called us Dante. If you're I'll show you this. Just relax. I know you think I'm going out of my mind. I'm not. I'm just a little stupid. Here we go. Got that. That. I need one right here. And I need another one. I'll have to drink it. Okay. Okay. And then I need one here. I'm a right-hander, so as soon as you get lined up, you should have right toe on left heel if you're in a 3-point stance. If you're in a 2-point stance, then I skinny my stance a little bit and bring it back about 6 more inches than toe to heel. It's about 6 more inches deep, right? So anyway, if I'm a right-hander, if I'm a left-hander, I do it the other way, okay? And we go left hand on the left side, right hand on the right side, okay? Everybody do that? No? I try and do it that way, coach, and just do reps and they get good at it, okay? And I love left side guys. Anyway, toe to heel, okay? To put your weight, play football, not off your balls or off your arches. So I want to feel my pad. I gotta have inside strength to do squats, okay? Front squats or back squats, right? So I gotta have my weight on my arches, okay? And that's how you have to play football. Some coaches in the NFL have your arches so you can push left and right, because football in the offensive line to disperse your weight from your left foot to your right foot and your right foot to your left. Sounds simple, but we all know the guys we get can be ugly ducklings, and they need to work on flexibility and conditioning just as much as they're working on nutrition and weightlifting. But it doesn't usually work. They're usually eating too much and lifting a lot, and they're not doing the flexibility and the conditioning. Okay? Man, we got to be in great shape to play football in any position. Okay? So anyway, here I am. A little bit more than shoulder width apart. This is for the 3-point stance. Put the fat of my forearms on the fat of my thighs. Let my hands dangle. I want to, it's a weird thing. In a football stance, I want that bitch that's looking at me to go, man, that's a coiled up snake, and he's going to smash me right in my face. That's what I want him thinking every single play. Pass or run, I want him to look at my stance in a 3-point stance and go, he's trying to kick my ass. Okay? And the way I try to do is get a little bit, feel the weight on your insides, your arches here, and then reach out. Don't put your hand here. Reach out, okay? And learn to operate past toes in, heels out. If me and Mike were going to get in a fight, he'd probably love it if I came up like this to you, right? I don't want to fight nobody like that. I don't want to wrestle nobody like that. Here we are. Everything works inside out on the offensive line. 5 points in the ground, eyes up, ass up. And the hard thing is the eyes up, ass up. Because, man, that takes some strain on that gut and that lower back. You know, what you want to do. Now, what does this kind of a stance do? You know what this kind of a stance do? Right here? This kind of stance, because I got my toes in, heels out. All right? I got my hands dangling. Okay? And I'm down like this. I got my eyes up, you know what that tells him? I'm coming off the ball. You better brace up your ass, because I am going to come off the ball with forward footwork and hit you in the face. Or hit you in the, whatever you deem. Don't get too fancy with that shit either. Ball's over here, hit over there. Hit to where you want, where the ball's going, right? Okay? That's what you're trying to do. Is everybody good with the stance? Okay? Is it important to have a good stance? It's everything. Why? Talk to them. It just means that this is the way we're going to do things. This is the way we get the stance. This is the way we put our hands down. This is the way we run block. This is the way we come off the ball. This is where we have the weight on our feet. This is what we do. And then how do you do that? By drills. Like this. Pulling. Okay? Here we go. Here's how it starts. Okay? Now, Mike, come here. You get up right in front of me. We're not going to hit anybody. No hit. He's the guy here, so you let's say you got 10 or 20 guys. Okay? So you have one guy. Now, one, two, three. As they watch their feet. You see them engaged. You actually see guys engaged, pulling, and looking at their feet as they come around here and go, God damn, somebody up there? You know, I'm going to hit somebody right here. You know, what's going on, right? I'm telling you, you need to push off, open up, and come down. Come down, right? Come down. Eyes up here. And then Randy will tell you, Now we're scraping for skin. Write that down, scraping for skin. I want my inside arm, if I'm the right guard pulling, or the left guard pulling to the right, I want to scrape for skin, and I don't want to come down the alley. Guys that have tight hamstrings and tight Achilles, they can't get themselves square here. Now why are we emphasizing that the guard has to be square when he enters that hole? Because there's a bitch here, over here, playing linebacker, and we're gonna smash the guard. And then he just walks back, and he gets in the line here. And the other guy gets in the line on the other side. And then the next two, put it down, go up, put your hand down. Okay, now I got my weight, I'm digging my weight in my left foot. Now, go, boom, crossover. Go ahead, you go that way. You go the other way, you're going to the right, okay? Boom, you don't want to run into each other, boom. Third step, I'm down, I found my luggage. I gotta find my luggage, the first step. I gotta push off my backside foot. And now I want to rip through here, right this, right? Everybody got it? Scrape for skin, squeeze the line, run the bitch over, get your pads down in your. Then what do? Jog your ass back here. Well, you won't be on there. You'll be standing right back here. Because of the drill. So is there just go like this. These go like this. Well, this happens if you got the managers to do it. Man, it's like boom, it's done in a second. But these are for flat pulls, right? And remember, if you want to do your tackles, you do the same drill on the tackle pulls. These 2-a-days. You should be oiled up and just smashing people's faces in as soon as they start. With the manager or the graduate assistant or whoever you have helping you out, if you're lucky. If not, you gotta have players do it. Put the bag up. Put a flat bag up there so they ain't running up here and smacking. If you get the same clunks coming in every time, whack his head with the damn bag, you know? Put that bag right there. Get his ass under the damn deal. And now, me and him will line up again. You don't have to come, we're good. Me and him will line up again. And here I am. I'm pulling to the right, he's pulling to the right. Throw, gain ground with my right foot. Push off my backside foot. Gain ground with my play side foot. Bang! Open up. I gotta open up not as much as I do on a pull because it's flat. On a pull, I'm going a little bit deeper and opening up. Okay? But I'm opening up and now I'm running. He got an arc release or an inside release by the tight end, and what's he taught to do? Spill your ass, right? This dude's sitting right here, and you're running counter, you're running power G with the guards. This dude's sitting right here, and he's going, oh, okay, spill, backside arm. He's going to backside arm your ass. So you teach your guys, push off, gain ground, don't lose momentum, get your pads down, and the easiest thing to react to if that end goes up the field. Anybody can box it, and boxing in is no problem. The spiller's a bitch. And you gotta, same thing, find your luggage right now. He's gonna tell you right now. If you get to your third step and you ain't figured out whether he's spilling or boxing, then you're gonna get your ass beat. You know, I wanna see is he a spiller or a boxer, and I wanna get an answer. Have we hit anybody? Have we hit anybody else? Are you talking about stance? Are you talking about dispersion of weight? Are you talking about throwing your arm and opening up, pushing off the backside foot? Are you talking about all that shit? That's what this shit's all about. I want to do drills where I'm not beating my guy's ass, but I know they're going to look the same, be taught the same, keep the thinking simple, and run off the damn ball. Run through. Hey, to me, this kick out pull right here, where I just go, I'm getting slightly into the line, so that's what I'm doing. Regular pull like this. Hit this pull like that. But I'm getting slightly into the line because I want the toughest thing, the spiller. How do I handle a spiller? How do I handle a guy that's wrong-arming me and bashing my teeth in and trying to drive me and screw up the hole, right? How do I handle it? I get down low and I dig his ass out. and I pound him into the turf, and I don't let him hit me and drive me an inch this way. If I stop it, it's okay. If I can move him a little bit, it's even better. Okay? That's how I want to do it. Everybody good with that? So you worked on flat pulls, O pulls. Okay? If you want to do one more thing, Coach, you ready to go?
You're good, Coach. Go ahead.
Okay. But if you want, the next thing you can do is look. Now we talked about O pulls and flat pulls and hundreds of reps, and we talked about all the teaching, right? Now let's talk about going to the next adjustment, vertical sets. Just from here, hardly any contact, hardly any. All you're doing is teaching and getting reps. Take this drill now. There's the main deal. Move these guys out. Okay. Now you're picking up everything. Okay. And look, I don't even need D line. All I need is the O line. We're repping ourselves, man. Okay. Now we can break down this whole thing. Okay. And they need breaks, so if you don't have an equipment, it's a good thing. They need breaks anyway. Okay? Boom. So now it's broken down to here. And now here's what you do. They're tired too. They just did 12 flat pulls, they did 17 O pulls, they did them to the left, they did them to the right. Somebody's got a pad there, they're yelling out numbers. 2, 3! I got 5 my luggage every time I pull. Push off the backside foot. You're emphasizing the same thing all the time. Over and over, right? Now you get to this drill. Get to this drill, okay? Line up, Mike, for a second. Okay? Here's me and Mike. Now we're in up stances. And when I say skin your stance a little bit and go a little bit deeper than the toe to heel, right? And just stick your chest out a little bit and then you do what you want to do. I see guys getting all kinds of, they do all this kind of shit before they move. It's got to be on your front foot so you can kick. And your first kick has to be big. My first kick, by the way, I don't go out. A lot of coaches teach going out to wide rushers. There's a wide rush group. And you take your offensive lineman, he's in, I'm in. He's kicking back and blocking a guy coming off there. I'm kicking back and blocking that guy coming off here. And I got 6 or 7 guys right here. And then I got another guy back here. Let me see. Yeah, the other guy stands, after we start the drill off at 2-on-2 at the first cup, and then the quarterback is an offensive lineman. He stands back there as the aiming point for another offensive lineman that's running off the ball right here. He's running off the ball, trying to get to that point. And all we're doing is big kick, settle. Everybody got it? Big kick, settle, right? Here I am. Big kick, settle. Right? If somebody beats me inside, back down inside. Right? That's all we're working all day. And I tell this guy, run for his outside number. Run for his outside number. If you get to the outside number, I just want to make sure. Like here we are. Let's go. You kick and I'll kick. Right? Here we go. All right. I'm horrible too. Here we go. Ready? And now there's the problem. Watch. See what I did? What did I do wrong? If I got a wide rusher, what down is it? So we're 2nd and 1, right? So if I got a wide rusher, we're passing the ball. What the hell am I looking at the guy there? I should be right there. Looking right at him. Deep, settle. Boom. And I'm going straight back. I ain't going out to him. Why don't you go out to him? Why would you think that that's the way I teach him? That you don't go out to him? Because he beats you inside. Absolutely. Right? And what's one thing you got to teach every time you're teaching pass protection? You make them scream it to you after they get beat inside. I won't get beat inside. Make them yell it to you. I won't get beat inside. Ever! I'm not going to get beat inside. Right? So you practice this, and I'm bad at it, but deep kick, settle. Deep kick, settle. He comes inside on that rush, I let him come inside about 1 every 5. And now you're getting all kinds of reps. And there ain't no, as soon as you touch him, the drill's over. It's not a full speed rush. It's It's not a football question. Just get to the landmark. You work your feet. You punch. And then what you want to see when they get to this is the real problem, right? When I kick deep and then settle, right? Now I got a guy that's making me shit my pants, right? Usually that bitch right there is, even in high school, he might only be 6'1" or 6'2", but he can run like a deer. And you ain't putting that dude out there for anything but to make your tackle shit his pants, okay? And you gotta do this drill over and over and over and over until he goes deep, settle, head out, punch. Deep, settle, head out, punch. Everybody got it? Deep, settle, head out, punch. Underneath move, slide down, cut his ass off. Right? Deep, settle, punch, head out. Oh, wait a minute, you went underneath? Inside. Not downhill, inside. He wants to come inside, I shut his shit down. What am I looking at as a pass protector? What do I look at on this wide rusher? Right? I'm not sitting here in my stance. There's nothing worse. Like, what are you, cool or something? Hey, you can see the fucking ball. Look at that dude right there. That's the problem. That's problem A right there. Get problem A blocked. Okay? And we're going to work it over and over until we get it right. Okay? And if that guy starts to come under, we'll work that down move. Everybody got it? Is everybody good with this? Any questions? Okay, let's go. What else you got? Give me some questions.
Coach, one question. When you're kicking, what are you trying around? I know you say look, again, what are they looking at specific? What body part?
My part, I didn't answer my own question. You're exactly right. Okay. Mike, come here for a second. Okay? Mostly on an opposing player. Come on out here, just a little bit. Not that far, right there. On an opposing player, right? First of all, I'm working the inside half, right? I'm kicking vertically because I control what? The depth of the pocket. Pardon me, I control the width of the pocket. The center and guards control the depth of the pocket. We don't give ground unless we absolutely have to at guard and center. At tackle, we're going to give ground against a wide rusher only, and if your ass wants to line up dead-eye dick on me or just a little bit outside, I'm playing guard that game. Got it? That's what I tell him. So when I look at him, I'm trying to work my foot to his crotch and his inside half. Okay? And then I go, and I got this from Anthony Munoz. Came and talked to our football team when I was at Miami, and he says he watched a Nike label or a stripe on their shoulder, and they aim small, miss small, right? My hands are here, and because these guys are doing this shit. You see, who's that guy that's asking for $180 million? What's his name? From Denver? That's a guy who's a werewolf. I would hate to have to block that dude. You know who I'm talking about? Miller, right? He ain't that big. But when you watch him when he plays, he's doing all this. It's like a Karate Kid. It's like you're trying to block Karate Kid. He's doing all this shit. So if you're looking at the whole picture, you're done. And you gotta make it simple. Like, hey, here's how I compare it to, in basketball, the guy for San Antonio for all them years from Wake Forest, was it Tim Duncan? No. Now you watch him. He don't even look like he's trying. And the bitch gets 24 points, 12 rebounds, and blocks 5 shots and gets 6 assists. Okay? He's Mr. Fundamental, and that's how you gotta make this for your tackles. What are you gonna be good at? I'm gonna be good at the big step and the settle. I'm gonna get good at that shit. And I'm gonna get good at sticking my chest out and having my hands up. And then I'm gonna get good at just what you were asking me. Aim small, miss small. And I'm gonna hit that spot. Because this is the heart. This is why they pay that dude from Ole Miss that just went to the Dolphins, that was on that bomb hitter, you know what I mean? That's why they're paying him about, every practice he makes about $152,000, you know what I mean? So why are they doing that? Because he's fucking good at what he does. You know what I mean? He makes it simple. You know what I mean? And the best guys that I know of in all sports don't have to do a whole lot of shit. I watched that basketball game last night. LeBron James just going to his right and kept muscling his way in there and getting his hand up there, and nobody's stopping that shit for 41 again. right? So, you know, to me, well, everybody's not gonna have guys like that, but this drill, think about what we just did. If you got equipment man, a GA, and you working together, you can do O pulls, tackle pulls, they're all in there doing it, the pulls. You can do flat pulls, and then you can do vertical sets. And you ain't hit a fucking soul. You haven't touched one human being, except maybe a little. I even tell them when I punch with the tackle, it's just a baby punch. Just time the punch, stop it. Not a full speed rush. So so if somebody's watching you, you're coaching your ass off, you're coaching technique, you're getting tons of reps, and you haven't hit a soul. So you're not bashing heads in, and you're not hurting your players. Because as soon as they go down with a little concussion, you're going to try to put him in there, and you're going to try to put him in there, and so will I, because he means everything to me to get him in there. But that doctor ain't putting him in there, and neither is that trainer. And that's their job, right? So what do? Well, I'm going to be in charge of making sure my guy's squatting, front squats, back squats, lunges, step-ups, all this shit that hurts, that's a pain in the balls, that stretches out my Achilles and my calves and gives me the power to come off the ball and the power to kick back and settle and sit with my shoulders back and my chest out, hands up, punch, right? Any of this shit's so far hard? None of it's hard, right? That's one drill. If you do it for a half an hour, your players will beat you up after practice. It'll be so hard. If you do that freaking drill, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and 10 minutes, they will whip your ass. They're going to be so pissed off. That's how many reps you can get of not hitting anybody, but coaching your balls off.
In 10 minutes, I'd like to show you a 5-minute video, an opportunity that was shared with me actually a few months ago, that my family benefited from, an opportunity to learn about making some additional income, especially as a high school coach. So if you've got about 15 minutes to stick around and be something well worth your time. Just give me a few minutes to get everything hooked up and we'll get going. Coach, laptop.